Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. So for today's video, I'm going to be doing a let's play of Yu-Gi-Oh! Duelist of the Roses, as well as some hints and tips, just like I did with the Forbidden Memories video. Let's do it. Right, so without further ado, let's get on with it. So I'm going to go straight in and duel Mako here with my deck. So as you can see, you've got a deck leader. So a deck leader is something you need if you're going to play any deck. So when you start the game, you have a choice of 3 different deck leaders, depending on because your actual name actually matters. So like, even though I use my real name, like it does come up with some really different names that you may be able to use. You know, so therefore you can kind of choose different ones, because normally I used to reset it to kind of see, you know, what I would get, because after playing it multiple times I kind of know what deck I'm looking for and what's good. So yes, you definitely need a deck leader. So mine is Birdface in this instance, and his is Karyushin, which as everyone knows is a very famous creature for Mako. And you know, it's very, well, I suppose, what is there to kind of say about it really? I mean, I suppose it's, you know, it's some different leaders have different effects and abilities. So, you know, mine doesn't, but like some of them do. Like some be able to move twice, like Blue Eyes White Dragon does. You can move twice across the playing field. So again, as you can see with the playing field, you've got mostly water, which is obviously to Mako's advantage, with a few patches of meadow across it. So each field has different types of, you know, abilities. You know, obviously you get boosts for all of them, and you know, it's just something that's really quite useful. There's never, what you'll find is once you play the game, like there's not one single kind of map that's the same. You know, every kind of playing field is different. And as you can see by what I've been playing, so I'm kind of going with a Winged Beast machine strategy here. And obviously, as you can see by mountain, I'm going to change the terrain here to go to my advantage, which isn't necessarily always the case, because Mako's, a lot of water monsters have the ability to change the terrain, which is what you'll find is that so monsters that have special effects don't always necessarily mean that they're going to be good. You know, so for the water ones, they also have different. Most of them do have ones where they can just change the terrain, which is actually really cool. Which is why water's one of my favourite decks on this game. And as you can see, you know, 4,000 life points as opposed to 8,000 on Forbidden Memory. So you've got to play carefully. And of course, as you can see, you know, it's very much, you know, it's very much just like, actually like a chessboard, you know, moving your pieces around, doing what you can, and obviously just like Forbidden Memories, you can only play 1 card per turn unless you play Solomon's Law Book, which allows you to play 2 cards a turn. In that turn you activate it. So again, what you find is that spells and traps do so many different things in this game. Oh, he's playing Aqua Chorus, but Magic Jammer's putting a stop to that. So again, you can still play traps, as many traps as you want, but obviously you can still only control 5 monsters at any one time, which is pretty cool. And obviously, because you have traps, you can kind of set them like in and around the place, and obviously try and prevent you from actually losing to any of them, or like triggering your opponent's traps, is what I meant to say. So that's pretty cool. I'm trying to think what else. I mean, there's so many things on this game. Like, obviously, you've got all the cards that increase by 500 and lots of other things. Oh, we set off my trap card. You've activated my trap card. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I think it's definitely one of the better Yu-Gi-Oh games. Like, this and Forbidden Memories are probably my 2 favourite ones. But because I can't really think of any other ones that are truly, like, really cool. Really. If I'm being honest, you know, kind of ones that are any real good, in essence. Oh, so I triggered Violent Rain, which, as you can see, its own square plus 4 others corresponding in a full area. Well, not full area, but around us has gone into water now. So again, like I said, that's why I love the water one the most, because the just terrain changes, because especially when you face Pegasus, because Pegasus has obviously a toon field, and obviously that means that he's able to, you know, there's so much he can do, because obviously his monsters go up by toon, but yours go down by 500, so you're already at a disadvantage. Plus, one thing to remember, like you saw just now, is that whereas most cards can only move 1 space, a monster that's in a zone that is like a boost for them, like Mountain for my Punished Eagle here, they can move twice, which gives a really good advantage as you go on into the matches you play. But again, it's always making a strategic point with your pieces, so it is almost like a chessboard in that respect. And you know, you can build like 3 different decks as well, so you can have like 3 decks where you choose which one. But again, you have to have a deck leader, and apart from your already existing deck leader you start with, the only way for your creatures to become a deck leader is if you use them a lot. So you know, you have to use a monster a lot of the time in order to even allow it to be, you know, able to like be an actual what's the word? To be an actual deck leader, because otherwise there's just no way to do it. You know, there's no kind of set motion of going, okay, this is, you know, what, you know, it's not going to happen any other way. So, like, and you don't want to... one of the things I always try and do is make sure that the deck leader isn't a deck leader that's already being used in the game, because it makes for good variety, but that's just a personal preference of mine. And again, you know, like I said, you know, and they all have... and you have, like, CP, so each monster and each card, like, contributes to a certain amount of points you have in your deck. So basically what that means is unless you have, like... what's the word? Unless you have... oh, so basically you have to have a certain amount to fight certain people, so it'll be really different. So I think the lowest is, like, Bakura, who's, like, on 757. So, like, mine is at, like, 9 something, which means I'll have to decrease it by... like nearly 200, which obviously isn't great at all. So, you know, that's a problem, but, you know, what can you do? You know, it's not something that's truly amazing, but, you know, but at the same time, you just progress quite easily. So we set a trap for our man-eating black shark. Yeah, to be honest, I'm drawing bad. Like, the machine thing combination isn't great in this, like, bit because of the whole fact that it's water. So I can't, and so Mountain's like the only good thing at that point. But I'll be getting rid of the black shark. So yeah, I think that's kind of the point. Is, you know, you don't want to, when you play this game, you just need to, like, play it and just, again, be strategic. You know, decide on who you're going to play against, and, like, in terms of, like, are you going to have, like, a... what's the word? Are you going to have a deck that is, you know, a themed one? Is it going to be... like mine, I'm going for, like, Wing Beast and Dragon as, like, the main thing, as well as Machine is one of my favourite as well, because it's really... the machines do a lot as well, which is why I've got some of the machines in here. But, you know, all in all, it's very much, you know, to each his own, I think. You know, you make that decision on what you're going to do. But obviously, like, the more CP the monsters have, like, the more powerful the monster are, the bigger the CP. So when you face, like, the last, like, the main bad guys in the end, like, they have, like, 1800 and something, so they have, like, literally the beast of... you know, they literally have a beast amount of... what's the word? They literally have a beast amount of... creatures, obviously, so they have big ones like Suijin and the obviously the other Gate Guardian pieces and so many other things. I just skip all the animations usually because they're not, like, it's not worth watching too much, to be honest. Oh, so that is victory for me. So what comes next is, depending on if I've used the monsters enough, I might get promotion to deck leader. Oh, there you go. Promotion. Mikazuki no Yaiba has been promoted, so I can use him as a deck leader now if I wanted to. And now here we have the slots, obviously, which are very important. You obviously pick each one. If you get 3 matching, you tend to get a really good card, so that's kind of what I'm going to try and do here, which obviously I failed already. But but I've got stuff I want for my water strategy, so that's okay as well. And depending on how many duels you fight, like in a row, and then you go back to deck building, you can do something that's called Reincarnation. So I'll go back to the deck and I will show you what that is, if I'm able to. So we'll just have a look here, see if anything comes up. Is it going to come up? Have we done it? So I suppose... No, we haven't. So usually it'll come up as a Reincarnation, and so what that means is you literally like sacrifice the card and you get 3 cards back that kind of correspond with the Pokemon's DC. So in this case, so for example, Kaiser Dragon DC is 43, so that means you'd get like 3 cards throughout the same, and it doesn't necessarily will be a monster. It'll be a monster because it could be like a spell or a trap as well. So that's pretty good. As you can see, Parrot Dragon in my deck has also been promoted at this stage, but as you can see here, we've got my water strategy here that's building, obviously with what we've got in here at the moment. We're only on 30 cards and we're on 814. I've got Slot Machine as the deck leader, which isn't great because, well, for me, because Bandit Keith already has that, but we can't really do much about that. And then we've got the Toon strategy, which is only on 579 DC with 19 cards, because as you can see, Mangaria Ran's 50, Toon Parrot Dragon is 33, and obviously you've got lots of other things here. Obviously Shadow Spell is 40, and that's the other thing when you play against Pegasus, because he has literally got like, oh dear, I need to change back to this deck. So what you notice with Pegasus as well is he has so many traps as well that will just literally destroy you. So I'll kind of give you a brief overview of the map now. So as you can see, obviously you choose one side. You either choose with the Lancastrians or the Yorkists, so the Red Rose or the White Rose. I'm on the White Rose because I chose the Red Rose first, and then I chose the White Rose second, which is what happens after you beat the red side. So here you've got Ishtar here, Bandit Keith is, Labyrinth Ruler is here. He's one of the more difficult ones to beat because, as you see the map set out, I think there was a way. Can I see it? I'm trying to remember if there's a way you can see the map on this. I can't remember. Oh, there you go. I don't know if you can see it in the top right corner. So obviously you've got normal across the bottom, normal across the top, and then so you can see the labyrinth in 3 lines. So you can't go straight. So you have to go round. But each side has a crush card spot, and obviously monsters with 1500 attack or more will be destroyed as soon as they hit that zone. So you've got to either change it or just literally send lower ones. But obviously he's in the same position. But because he's the Labyrinth Mage, you've got creatures like Labyrinth Tank, which Labyrinth Tank can move in the zones, in the Labyrinth zones, which is tough. And like if you put Shadow Ghoul in there, it becomes Wolf Shadow. So he's got that advantage, and obviously again Pegasus has got the Toon Field, which again is very difficult to maneuver in because he kind of surrounds his leader with traps and monsters, and again he never sends his people to you, because usually in the matches obviously they're trying to get to your leader, but he never tries to get to your leader unless your leader is in his half of the zone. Which is really quite funny, really. So moving on, we've got Weevil over here. We've got Rex down here. We've got Heishin. Oh, sorry, I say Heishin, excuse me. I'm thinking of his character in Forbidden Memories. He is Richard Slyshin of York. Then we've got Darkness Ruler, or Panic as he's known in the anime. We've got Mai here. We've got Tristan here. We have got Taya. Here we've got, oh, excuse me, we've got the red side enemy, who, as you can see, his DC is 1,891, which is more than double what I've got. So, you know, that's him. Excuse me. And then obviously you've got Kyber, who's 1184, and obviously he's got blue eyes, etc. And then you've got the other side, which is 1,985. But unlike the other one, who's got his field is Yami in the middle, as you can see, around with a surrounding bit of Labyrinth. His is Crush Card. So again, you have to go round unless you change the middle bit of terrain, which isn't always on your side because of how powerful he is. Over here you've got Bones, or the Necromancer, using... he's the second lowest because he's only got 795 DC. So I'd have to like decrease it by nearly 200. Mako, obviously, we've got here. This is just where you go over. So like you'll kind of go from here to here, and then you'll go down here. And then you've got, over here you've got Joey. And then you've got the Shardy guy, who, his field is very interesting because his has got a cross of Crush Card, and then he's got 4 different other terrains in each corresponding section, which is really interesting, I find. Then you've got Jasper Dice Chuda, otherwise known as Grandpa Moto. As you can see, his is very difficult too, because he starts off in the wasteland bit at the top of the map. I don't know if you should be able to see it clear enough. And then he puts himself into the Yami zone. So because you've got Labyrinth surrounding it, you've got to go around the outside. But he has the ability to summon Exodia. So if he has all 5 pieces on the field, you're done for. Obviously, Bakura, 757 being the lowest. He's just got Forest and Crush Card. He's actually not much of a challenge, to say the least, because he just doesn't have much. Like his leader ability, after every turn, or one of... I can't remember if it's like one of each turn or just his, but at the end phase, his Dark Plant increases his life points by 50. So that can happen. And then obviously you've got Yugi at the end here with his Dark Magician, obviously, as his leader. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play against Pegasus and just show you the true extent of the Tomb World and stuff like that. But there's so much more to see on this. There's so much more you can do on this game. It's just so unique in that respect. You know, each monster has a different effect. Each monster has a different field that it's more powerful on. There's just so much you can do. So I'm not going to do anything here. I'm just going to leave it at that. So as you can see, he's surrounded by Tomb World, which is crazy. And he does a lot. He does have burn cards like Tremendous Fire, which does heavy damage to you as well, which isn't great, to say the least. But I'm just going to move my Punished Eagle up here. That's just literally the only way you can do it, is to literally send cards either side. And like put traps there to kind of get him to set them off and try and take his monsters down and try and change the terrain. So sometimes the duels against Pegasus do take a while. Sometimes, you know, it's very much an issue sometimes if you don't have the cards to change the terrain. I'm going to power up my Punished Eagle as much as I can, knowing that, you know, I want him to get close enough and be able to go into the tomb terrain unspoilt by his own monsters. And the thing is about some... Oh, there's the Tremendous Fire. One of the other things as well is that he has stuff like Change of Heart. So if you have a monster right next to your leader, he will just take control of that and obviously attack you directly. I'm trying to think what other things he's got. Right, I'm going to put Bird Face over here, because then I will be able to use him to increase the power of my Punished Eagle again, because his effect is... Because Birdface's true monster effect is, when it's faced upon defense position, all your winged beast monsters are awarded with a power bonus of 300 points, which does definitely come in handy in some cases. And yeah, I mean, and he also has cards like Mimicat and stuff like that, which also make it quite difficult to fight him. So I'm going to put Magic Jammer down and move it, just so I can block anything he chooses to do. I'm going to leave Punished Eagle here, and I'm now going to put Birdface up. So my Punished Eagle is now 3400 for the time being. So when he goes into the tomb, he'll be down to 2500. But that's okay. That's not really a problem. So that's fine. Oops, excuse me, just moving a notification out of the way. So yeah, for the most part, this game is very much like, again, like most games like this especially, it's all about strategy and what you do with your cards. So, you know, you don't want to obviously have a situation where you know, you go in kind of not realizing what you've got to do. I remember the first time playing this, it was such a great experience and such a learning curve. And because a really good friend of mine, one of my best friends, got me into this game, and it was so nice for him to show me what it is you had to do and how it worked. And I love this game to death, and it's just like, it's one of those things that makes you just think, well, you know, it's really nice to be able to play a game and be happy with it. Oh, I've triggered a trap, which again affects my trap. And another thing about Pegasus is, which is quite funny, which is just like on the show, he actually makes you feel like he can see what cards you play and what you do, which is really quite funny. A lot of the time, because you don't realise it. So like sometimes you'll put a trap there and he won't even like try and respond to it, or yeah, he won't even like respond, or he might trigger it accidentally or on purpose, like this. So he's used a stuffed animal just to do it, just to trigger it, just so one of his big monsters doesn't do it later, which is a smart strategy, obviously. We're not drawing a lot, we're just drawing a lot of rubbish thingies, aren't we? So I'm going to put Windstorm with Attaqua down, which will boost my Winged Beasts even more. I'll just leave everything where it is again. You don't always have to like do that like double pressing of the X to thing, but it's like you just watch them do it after a while and it becomes a habit, you know, which is quite funny. But yeah, I mean, like overall, like some of the weird things about Pegasus' deck, like his Parrot Dragon, which obviously isn't a toon monster, will go up on the toon field, which is really quite interesting in that respect. I'm trying to think of what else is quite interesting in general, but I can't think off the top of my head about his deck. I don't know, actually. I actually don't know. I think I'll just leave it like that for now. So as you can see, he's now completely blocked himself in. Are they traps? Are they spells? Are they monsters? You know, we know one's had a power increase, so we know one of them's a monster, at least. Oh, we now have Dark Magician on the field, which is quite unique. He's just in there as just like another filler card, really. He's not there as part of the deck, obviously, because again, it's supposed to be a water strategy, not like this thing, not like having... Oh, my penalty was on 34, so it'll be on 29, not 26 or whatever I said. Excuse me. But yeah, I do recommend playing this game like I did with Forbidden Memories. It's such a good game if you're into this sort of thing. It's a very different take on Yu-Gi-Oh! And, you know, it's really fun to learn all the mechanics that go with it. And it's just something that's so worth playing if you're into Yu-Gi-Oh! And it's one of those things, I suppose... Oh, this is what I really want. That's what I really want right now. I really, really want the mountain up there. I really do. So I'm going to move Dark Magician there. I'm going to do that. And then I'm going to activate the mountain. Oh no! Trigger the trap, which I suppose I'll say oh no, but it's probably a good thing for it being that. But it's only stuck for a turn, so once it comes off as being spellbound, then I will just hit it up with. I'll just activate it, and then it'll be good. So that's another thing I have to explain. Spellbound. Oh, he's got rid of it. Oh, you cheeky git. Oh, never mind. Anyway. Is the creatures get spellbound. I don't actually know the mechanics of how it works and how when they choose to spellbind cards. Like traps have that effect to spellbind, so like you kind of ignore that a bit. You kind of ignore that fact. But sometimes when you battle monsters, they do that, and you kind of ask yourself, well, like how does that work, kind of thing. You know, you kind of you do ask yourself, you know, how does that actually work? Doing that. You know, how does it actually work? I don't actually know how the spellbound thing works. I really don't. But I might actually try and find that out, because I've never actually noticed, because other than traps, like I don't get how creatures get spellbound in this game. But I want to know. If you know, let me know in the comments section below. Because I really don't know. I wish I did, to be honest. Oh dear, oh dear. We're going to fight this. We're going to beat this guy. Oh dear. We're not pulling a lot of goods, are we? Oh dear. No, we're not. No, calm. Nearly made a mistake. We don't really care too much for that, to be fair. We're just going to ignore that at this time. We're going to move him up there. Move him up there. Move him there, so we don't get... I say if I don't get change of heart, they use change of heart, but... I've got 2 magic jammers down now, but he probably already knows that, being Pegasus. But yeah, you know, all the fields are the same, and obviously each opponent's deck corresponds around that field. So obviously Pegasus with the tombs, Maker with the water, Mai with the mountain, Bandit Keith with the wasteland. You know, it's so easy. Oh, blimey. Someone drew a load of thingies, didn't they? Someone just drew a lot of harpy ladies. We're going to power up this harpy lady. She got a big booby, 2700 booby. We're going to put Dark Magician back there, getting rid of the dragon. Just so we're a bit more prepared. I'm not going to use Windstorm. Actually, should I use that now? No, I won't. I'll do it next turn or something. But yes, you know, they correspond with the fields, apart from, like, the big guys, because the big guys just literally have monsters. Big monsters, that's all they need. What else was I thinking? There was something else. Big monsters, blah, blah, blah. And obviously, each turn, you only start with, like, 3 stars, and obviously that gets up. Oh, I've pulled Solomon's Law Book, which is quite good. Which I like. And obviously, you can cancel out spells and all these other things, but... I'm not going to use Solomon's Law Book yet. So if you use a spell or a trap, your star count doesn't go down, which means it'll go up. So that's the only way you can play bigger monsters. So it's not like the whole sacrificing rule, but it is sort of like, you know, it does kind of leave it so you have to wait a while to do something. But obviously there are monsters like Baphomet and Gate Deeg. Are 2 monsters that when you flip them up, you gain all 12 maximum stars. So that's actually pretty cool. And I've drew a power dragon, so which means I can put it in the with this slot. I'm gonna try and set off a few things. Oh, he's got a power dragon in defense mode. Well, so I'll take care of him, and now my power dragon can move 2 spaces in the tomb world at a time, which means that I can do some stuff unless he gets rid of it. Another thing to know is that when certain monsters are around, so like when you have certain creatures, when you're facing opponents and they have, what do they have? They have, so like I said, the ability of some of the deck leaders are different, but a lot of them do have the thing where if their monster is close enough to their deck leader, it actually gets a 500 point boost. So it's actually a bit annoying, which is why you kind of have to lead the monster away from the deck leader. Oh, it's just clicked in my head. I think, like, the bigger the creature is, like the more powerful the creature is, that's why it gets spellbound half the time. Because if it's the bigger creature, just clicked in my head. Oh no! What I really want right now is a thingy. That's what I really want right now. I really would love a another mountain. So Spirit of the Books, what that does is it summons a Buku. When it flips, it increases the power of the Spirit of the Books by 700 points. I'm going to move that to cancel it out so I don't have as many monster things. I might use Windstorm of Etiqua now, just so I can just increase them, and so I know it's done then. So when I get the mountain, I can just carry on moving my people, if that makes sense. So let's see what power we've got. So he is now 35, which makes him the most powerful thing. So I'm going to move him into the tomb now, my Punished Eagle. He's pretty powerful as well. She, the Harpy Lady, is pretty powerful, so I'm probably just going to leave her there. So yeah, in comparison to Forbidden Memories, this is much a different strategy, and it's much more of a... It's more than just a game of Yu-Gi-Oh! It's practically a... I keep saying it's a game of chess, but it might as well just be a game of chess. You just... The way you play the game and the way you have to strategically put your cards and everything there, it's just literally just it's literally a typical strategy game of trying and putting things in the right place and making sure that whatever you do, all your decisions matter. As you play the game, of course. So it makes sense that these kind of things will happen, if you know what I mean. I don't really know what else I want to do, to be honest. Because obviously we've got these, we've all these creatures in my field, but I'm not going to use in my hand. But I don't want to use Solomon's Lawbook yet, because I want to use it for an appropriate time where I can have the ability to try and get mountain. Because that's what I really want right now. Because obviously I've got rid of one, but I can't remember if I've got another one or two more. Because obviously, again, like with most cards, it's 3 per deck, so obviously you can't have that. Oh, I've got my own burn card. I've got Ukazai, or Ukazi, however you pronounce it. Now in the real-life Yu-Gi-Oh! It deals 500 points of damage. No, excuse me, 800 points of damage, but on this it does 500 points of damage. Which is still fine, especially when obviously you're doing 4,000 life points. So obviously this, that's going to be the thing, isn't it? And again, you can see each other's graveyard as well, so you can always kind of know and see what you've used, especially when you're going to use Monster Reborn and stuff as well, because you can, obviously that's a pretty good one, obviously, but that's 50 DC, I think, which is also a problem. Well, not a problem. Again, I say a problem, it's not a problem. I think we're going to move the Harpy Lady up there. We're going to put Spellbinding Circle down there. I might try and trigger something. Oh, my Punished Eagle got destroyed, didn't it? But yeah, I hope you get some value out of this, just like the Forbidden Memories one. If you're into these games, I do believe that, if I choose a favourite between this and Forbidden Memories, because it's so cool in that respect. Oh, so I just went over. What did I go over? Invisible wire. So that means that my Pokemon is okay for now. Move my Harpy Lady up. Move my Birdface up. Oh, Machine Conversion Factory. Not what I'm looking for right now. I'm probably going to get rid of these, just so I don't need them. I'll move the Machine Conversion Factory up just as a dud. So now I've got some few free spaces. I'm now going to use Solomon's Lawbook, which will replenish my hand to 5. And then that will allow me to... Now I can play another card. Oh, and there's the mountain that I was looking for. So I'm going to activate the mountain, even though I kind of want it to be a bit further that way, if I was honest. But so it's only going to hit out a little touch of mountain over here, which again isn't really much of a problem. But now my Spirit of the Books is on 3,500, which means that's a force to be reckoned with right now as well. So I'm making progress now. I'm getting there, because it's always a slow grind against Pegasus. No, I wouldn't say more so than the Labyrinth one, because the Labyrinth one, you know, you have much more limited movement. Whereas on this, you know, it's not so limited against Pegasus, but you've only got like 2 points of entry, so it's kind of like, you know, I'll make that decision, make that choice wisely, kind of thing. Oh, we just hit something else as well. What did we just hit? Garma Solo. So there are rituals in this. Some of them actually are also to like summon like bigger creatures that aren't necessarily ritual monsters in like real life, or in some of them are actually in real life. There actually are ritual monsters in real life. Excuse me, I was completely out of the shot there. He's only got 300 life points left, which is kind of where I want to go with this. Oh, and we've negatively taken over another card, which is Tomb World. So we are doing very well. We are making headway. He's got 300 life points left. I've got Magic Jammer to counteract any magic card he may have. I've got my Harpy Lady, and I've got the Spirit of the Books that are powerful enough, so hopefully we're getting there. We're going to make some progress. But yes, this so I think one of the better things about this, again, is the fact you can build multiple decks, because like on the PS1 version, Forbidden Memories, obviously you would have to have it on like separate memory cards, and you can trade over cards from that. Same with this, really, but you know, I just think it's probably not the best, especially because again, like on Forbidden Memories, you get the same thing. Like your name may correspond with what kind of deck you get, so you know, and that's the thing. It always makes, you know, for an interesting playthrough, really. Oh, Punish Eagle has now been promoted as well, so we've got more of those, which I like. I like. I'm building a Tomb deck, so we want some of this stuff. We would like, well, I suppose Neoatori, I think, gets powered up on Tomb as well. We've got, that's not Tomb World on this. The one above me is Tomb World. Oh, we've got Neoatori Fiend Castle, which is actually in a quick card. It says Fiend Castle, but obviously it's the original. Is the artwork for Tomb World. Right, so we'll check if we can get Reincarnation. I'm hoping we can, just so I can show you guys what it is. I can see the video's gone nearly 38 minutes already, which is near enough the same I had for the last one. But hopefully I can reincarnate. Can I reincarnate? No, I can't. Oh dear. Never mind. Oh, sorry guys. Looks like you're not going to get to see the reincarnation. However, but right. So now we've got these. So we've got the deck things. Just trying to think of other things. And like, yeah, again, they all have different kind of things, different kind of moves that will help them. And there are Pokemon? Good blimey, I'm going nuts. There are creatures that can spellbind creatures before they've even done anything. But yeah, there's just so many things you can do. And like, the creatures are so big, like Kezajin there is literally, what is it, 51 DC. And obviously its effect is, whenever damage is inflicted in the battle, the damage is reduced to 0. So you won't lose any damage from destroying it. Or you won't. I don't think any life points get done for battle damage anyway. So yeah, as you can see, I've just got a huge amount of monsters and spells and traps. I've got the Fortress Whale Oath if I wanted to summon them. And yeah, some of them have different requirements. Obviously, this one, I need 2 fish monsters and Mech Bass for it. I'm just trying to think of other. There's anything else I can think of at this point, but I can't. So I'm probably going to leave it there, guys. For now, I don't think there's much more I need to do on this. Much more I need to say. So with that in mind, guys, I really hope you enjoyed. I do appreciate you guys if you stuck it in for the long haul. I tried to make this one shorter than the Forbidden Memories one, but it turns out we've gone over. But I suppose that was my fault for choosing Pegasus to play as. But I wanted to kind of show you one of the harder opponents to face Even though it didn't look that hard, honestly, if we're being, you know, frank about it, but it was, you know, something that makes sense, I guess. Oh, there was, yeah, but other than that, you know, I think it's just, you know, it's one of those things where I really hope, you know, let me know in the comment section below if you've played this game or if you're going to play this game, and you know, you got some value out of it. You know, I really hope you did. It's definitely something that I've always been excited about. I really love this game. You know, I might play it a bit more, I'm not sure. But anyway, guys, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe down below with notifications turned on for my latest videos. Anyway, guys, thank you for watching and subscribing. Enjoy the rest of your day, whatever it is you're doing. And as always, take care of yourselves.